Hi, my name's Daniel Nazarian,
I'm Sean Newsom.
And I'm Jose Torres.
and we're the creators of Octocop, our project for CAP 4053 AI for computer games. So Octocop is an 8-bit style 2D side-scrolling game. There are 3 unique levels in the game where the goal is simply to go from the left side of the map to the right side of the map to secure a document all the way on the right side. On the way, there are hordes of mutant slugs that Octocop must avoid. He's able to slow them down by shooting ink at them, as well as platforming and climbing over them to get to the other side of the map. There's also surprise bosses scattered throughout each level, and the whole point is it's a big platformer game. As far as the story behind Octocop, the game is set in a near future dystopia and follows Octocop's adventure through 3 unique levels in search of who's been polluting his beloved reef. Octocop has to fight his way through these hordes of enemies to find clues as to who's been doing this through a scroll at the end of each level. These clues lead him to his next destination and ultimately to the truth at the end of the game.
Yes, I will be covering AI. So in our game, we created this AI system that used a lot of pathfinding for just navigating objects, trigger systems to kind of create events, and then raycasting for the bullets that we actually created. Now, we thought that intelligent AI was important for the side scroller because we wanted Octocop to be kind of like a childish game. We wanted it to be both fun and challenging at the same time. We wanted to utilize AI techniques that allowed us to make the game just more interesting and challenging, as we feel the balance of difficulty was one of the most important aspects of the game. We kind of wanted to make it look more like Dark Souls too. The technology that we used was a mixture of Unity with some really custom scripts for C# that we really had to hone down in order to make sure worked for every single level. There were a lot of bugs we had to put through. Just a lot of bugs. And next.
So the one thing that we wanted for Octocop to set us apart from other video games was the fact that we were ambitious in the sense that we wanted to create both the art and the music for the game ourselves. All the sprites, animations, and characters were designed by our team, and we wanted to ensure that the game had a full animation set, an original look, and a feel to it, kind of like that nostalgic 8-bit, like for most scrollers that you remember. A majority of the other backgrounds and assets were designed by ourselves as well, and edited throughout level to level. All of the music as well was made by us, as we thought one of the more interesting parts of the game was the dichotomy between being whimsical and funny and the dystopia as well. And you can see this by the changing tempos and just scales and everything used between for example the main theme to the beginning scenes. That gives the destruction surrounding Octopus a more lively feel. We thought creating our own music would allow us to really set the scene in a way that stock assets just couldn't. There were some problems that arose. Obviously, during the development, we had some trouble with the shooting and the climbing mechanics. However, probably the biggest challenge was balancing the difficulty. We started development by making all the art and music we needed to get started. And we started experimenting with how exactly we wanted the game to work, whether it be more platform or more shooter, as we wanted to be a platform with shooters. But through playtesting, we started editing the different drafts that we had. This became the biggest challenge, I think. I can speak for all 3 of us, as it was really difficult to design and program the game in such a way that it wasn't too boring, yet too difficult. Playtesting between us and between some of our friends, this led us to change a lot of the mechanics and the AI as well from the original design that we had, but ultimately it led to a game that we think provides a good balance of challenge and ease.
So with that, we'll show you a quick rundown through the first level of the game to give you an idea of how it plays and what it looks like in real time.
2, 1. So this is the main menu. As you can see, we have our logo Octocop with his little face on the star. You have your play buttons and your quit buttons. You press play, and you get a quick description, a little background on the story, a little bit of explanation for how to play, and this is on a 20-second timer, so in a few seconds, we wanted to give enough time for you to read it, so in the meantime, yeah, anyway, here are the controls. WASD for move, mouse to aim, space to shoot. So drops you in the left side of the map. If the player moves to the left, you hit the wall, so that signals to them that they should move to the right. Where if you go to the right, you will run into this little brown platform, or hanging off of a platform. These are what we call ropes, so these give you the ability to climb. This is kind of fundamental to our whole platforming system. And as you can see, I almost just got killed by a slug, but this slug right here is actually going back and forth between this block and one on the other side. And I'm going to try to shoot him. It's a little difficult, but you get the idea. So yeah, I'm just going to give you guys a few seconds playthrough, just show you this slug, a little bit faster slug, to get the players used to what's going on. You can jump up here, try to climb up this rope, and I get killed by that guy. I'm going to try to go around this one down here so you can see the next slug. Alright, and so now there's a faster one there, and that almost just got me. I'm going to try to climb up here. There's a lot of slugs. Yeah, so having a bit of trouble now. It is absolutely not. I'm gonna give it one last shot. Okay, well, I'm done. Anyway, with that, my name is Daniel Nazarian.
Sean Newsom.
Jose Torres.
And we want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen and play Octocop, and we hope you enjoy his